Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Nioh 3 with Gaming Son and Father. This episode, I want to review the bosses that are from the first chapter of the game. So far, I'm really loving the game. I just made it to the third chapter, and I thought it was, it would be cool to do a boss ranking. This boss ranking is really based upon difficulty from the easiest to hardest for me, in my opinion. I know everyone is different. Everyone has their own boss ranking. If you want to put yours in the comments below, that is fine. You can dispute my easiest to hardest with your own. That is cool. I want to know what was hard for you. But for me, we're gonna start off really with the first boss. Oh, and by the way, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna just have a little discussion about the bosses, where they rank, and why they, I thought they was either easy or harder, and then I'm going to also just allow you to see, um, the whole fight I had with those bosses, which is pretty cool. So, of course, the first one is the first main boss of the game, and this is going to be solely on the main boss, not the boss you encounter throughout the open world. Um, and the first boss, was the easiest. This was, in my opinion, the what made this boss a little bit challenging was the fact that you learn some of the mechanics. You don't really have all the skills you normally have. Don't have all the tools you gain upon the game. So you're really just trying to fight with a couple of ninjutsu tools. If you go switch to the ninjutsu style, which I did for the most part for this fight, as and not really a whole bunch of other things that you're going to get a little bit later. So you just really just using your weapon, a couple of ninjutsu tools. And what made him a little challenging, of course, was that he had some he had some reach on that weapon. He had some reach on that weapon. However, um, you know, his pattern became became something you can easily recognize after a few fights, and you had lots of opportunities to punish him. So when he struck down on the ground, things of that nature, you had when he got through his combo chain, you had opportunity to strike him. And in addition, one thing that definitely helped made this fight a little bit easier is that his key gauge, it went down a lot when he was swinging. Um, I hate fighting humanoids on any Neo game because they always gave me the most challenging fights. For whatever reason, they was more versatile, not versatile. They was a little bit faster in my opinion. They blocked, unlike a lot of the yokai, that you fought in the game. They blocked, and on top of that, the key gauge kept coming up. While the yokai key gauge did not go up, it just when you hit, then the key gauge went down. But in this fight here, every time he swung, his key gauge went down, and it was, and you could punish him and bring it down some more. So you was able to get a couple of grapples on him in the fight. So for the most part, for that reason, he was the first on the list. So please enjoy the rest of the fight.
But we've only just begun!
Oh, that reach is astounding.
A might befitting that of the Crimson Army! You must
Now that's
summon Crimson
some
Army at once
amazing
and
reach.
eliminate them!
Oh my God! That reach! Got him this time. Gosh. That okay, guys. So this was the second hardest. Well, not the second hardest. This is number two on my list. So he wasn't the easiest, but he was the second easiest, I guess you can say. Um, but I have him a little bit lower on the for me. My ranking. I know there's a lot. I watch a lot of people playing these videos after I beat a boss. I will go and just um, watch other people fight the boss, and I heard a lot of people saying that this boss was very challenging for them. Um, Now I know that he has uh, all this whole deception going on when you got a fake him illusion going on. You got wait for the right time to move. Uh, but for me, I guess I just had my reflexes a little bit faster, so I was really just a lot of times, especially the ninja style, just really working on how can I put this not instincts but on reflection. Um, uh, I pretty much was just just going with it, as it came to me. But one thing that definitely put him lower is that I was able to adjust his moves quickly, and his I was easily able to catch him with a burst attack because um, his red, whatever that red move is called, it was very easy to see. It was cut and paste. That arm came down, with no hard timing, difficult timing at all with him. So I think that he was pretty much one of the easy ones. You could just pretty much just uh, gosh, the word is escaping me, but you can just basically just move out of the way with him. Your reflexes. There we go. That word. Your reflexes can just help you get through that fight there. Just all I was doing was just dodge, and it was easy for me. His swings are wide. He has this little attack that he throws that war at you. That was challenging, but for the most part, everything was pretty much cut and dry and kind of easy to catch with him. So that's why he's kind of low on my list.
I will not die. Not until my lord's control is secured. My lord,
Got him.
forgive me.
All right, guys, here is the third one on my list. Now, if you guys notice, I'm not saying no names because I'm going to jack these names up and I don't want to offend nobody. And I don't want no one laughing at me because I'm just not saying these names right. Um, but at any rate, the second phase for this guy here, started to give me a little bit of problems. Like I said, for the human ones, they definitely give me some challenges. They do a lot of blocking and things of that nature, and so he definitely was deflecting some of my attacks. Um, and also on top of that, all those fire attacks that he had going for him um, was definitely, making things a bit challenging for me. Um, but um, Oh, and then on top of that, he had poison he added to his weapon as well. But one saving grace I did have with him, because once again that key will go up, so it was a little bit challenging at times, but you was able to get some grapples on him because um, his key didn't go up quite as fast. Now he wasn't his key wasn't lowering as much as the first guy we fought, the first boss, as he attacked. However, at the same time, his key just did not move at all. So it made it, you know, to the point to where you can get the a grapple attack on him. All right, so this was pretty much a cool fight, but at the end of the day, some of the timing was a little bit challenging and difficult with him. But he definitely worked me during this fight.
God, come on, what are you doing?
All right, here we go. Number four. We are getting up there to my hardest bosses in this game. Now this gentleman here, his second battle with him, he definitely gave me some challenges. Um, he pretty much was that it was that horse. Um, it was that horse that gave me some issues. He reminded me of, I think it was Lu Bao or something like that. I can't remember the guy's name. That was on Wu Long Fallen Dynasty. The fight was similar, So as far as riding that horse and then having that jumping, leaping attack that you got a burst counter, but the yes, that definitely was challenging. That too. Um, that was challenging for me to time. Then on top of that, when he went into that second that yokai realm or whatever it's called, that definitely made things a little bit more challenging. He had fire of attacks he had going on. And then when he jumping at you, with the fire and everything, that made it hard. So this boss definitely gave me the work, and it was something that I struggled with for a while. So he was definitely up there for me. Yeah, see right there, I got it, but it took me a few attempts to beat him. That timing was hard.
Oh no. Whew. That was a close one. That was close. I almost lost it.
Okay, guys, here we go. We are one away from our hardest um, boss fight on chapter one of Nioh. Now, this one here, this was the first yokai boss that I fought in this game, the main boss that is, and he definitely gave me some challenges. He had all these wide range sweeping attacks, and his burst count, getting that burst counter was hard. Um, um, but got these wide range attacks, sweeping attacks, and it was kind of hard to get the timing together for those things. And of course, he would have this quick attack that he would use with that, or she would use with that stick or whatever is in her hand. So this one definitely gave me my chance. And then, of course, when they went to the second phase or that yokai realm or whatever it's called, things went up a notch. But as you see, that burst counter definitely had some hard timing. And so, and it, of course, it has some reach, so you had to definitely be careful with this boss. Then the boss would jump at you. Now it's a second um, um, uh, move that they throw at you. That's in the red. That was, oh yeah, that right there was ridiculous. That was challenging. He threw some stuff at you, um, but I was able to, yeah, that right there. I was able to get it. I wish I could show you what it looked like. I was able to get it on that fight there, but it took me a while to. And the timing, I never really had it on lock. Some of these things I was able to get. Those red attacks and burst counter on. Every single time it became automatic for me. This one here was hit or miss. So this one here definitely gave me some work, and it was definitely the second hardest boss in chapter one for me.
Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on. Got him. Oh, I can't believe I got it. Wow.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this was the hardest boss for me in the first chapter of Neo 3. I don't think this one's going to come as a surprise to nobody. This boss was wild. Now, it didn't take me a whole lot of time. I think it took me a good 20 something minutes to beat him. But because and I will say this here, there's a lot of discussion about is the game too for some people it's too hard, but then for a lot of those who they are, those people who who just got these major ego problems, and because they got nothing better for going on for them than to their video games. And I'm not trying to knock people who play video games because I obviously play video games. I love it. But there's some who like, oh, it's too easy. Um, it's not too easy. Now for me, it's a little bit. Um, I will say it's not as hard for me to beat these bosses as it was before, and I really still blame to this day the first Berserker Kazan for that because those bosses were ridiculously hard. First, especially Ozma, to where it's like ever since that game, the bosses haven't been that hard for me. But at any rate, I'm off topic. But this one was definitely the hardest because he's wild. He's all over the place, very fast, jumping all over the place, and trying to get that burst counter is challenging with him. But and the part that had really sucked for me was that I had to fight him twice because I didn't, go to the next stage, and I thought that I saved and everything. Fine, I could just go on the next day and just go on to the next section. But no, it didn't work that way. I had to fight him all over again, which sucked. But yeah, due to his erratic behavior, he's all over the place, jumping and everything. This boss was definitely the hardest. Y'all take care. I hope y'all enjoy. Let me know what your hardest bosses was, and y'all have a good one.
What's up? Got him. About to say, what's going on? All right.